What's up, guys, and welcome back to Just What the Doctor Ordered. I am Dr. Kaori Knight, and I'm going to present you guys with another comic book character. So this comic book character, you may or may not know this one. It depends on if you read Aspen Comics. So today we are going to be talking about Onyx. So Onyx was created by Michael Turner and J.T. Cruel, and she first appears in Soulfire Volume 1, Number 1, back in 2003. So Onyx is an assassin for hire, and she is from the Fey Kingdom of Setharu, which is described as a place of dark magic. In her first appearance, she tries to abduct Mal, who is the vessel for Semasura, or the light, which is the living embodiment of magic. Mal was able to escape from her, and she ended up doing battle with Grace, but upon realizing who Grace was, she ended up going back to her handler or boss named Rainier. When she got back to Rainier, she tried to negotiate a higher pay due to the fact that she had to go up against Grace. However, he strong-armed her into the price he had set by attacking her with a techno-organic dragon. She then ended up going to Hawaii to kill Mal's first teacher, Kamiya. Later on, she realized that Rainier had called in Abel, which actually ended up pissing her off, but she didn't really want to say anything about it because she had already been attacked once with a techno-organic dragon. She ended up, for some reason, through all of the red flags, caring for Rainier, even though he was incredibly violent and almost torturous towards her, but what can you do when you're being paid? Not to mention the fact that he hates all Fae, which includes her, but what do I know? Later on, she infiltrates the city of Anasia and kills the barrier protectors so that Rainier could get in. She then participates in the attack on the castle because they are there to kill Mal, but they do battle with Grace and both of them are defeated, but she's able to get Rainier out of there before he ends up getting killed. When she appears again, she seems to have gotten some sense into her head when it comes to Rainier because she appears independently of him. But, of course, when she does appear, she is going to the city of Setharu and she kills a bookkeeper so that she can get her hands on the Book of Azar. She intended to use the Book of Azar to get her people to rise back up and so that they could rule again. And after a brief skirmish with Grace yet again, she ends up disappearing and going to the cave of her ancestors. When she gets to the cave, she starts reading from the forbidden book, and we all know what happens. No harm ever comes from reading a book. But the spells manifest differently than what she thought, and she ends up being overtaken and consumed by dark beetles. Once she comes out of the cave completely transformed by the spells, she attacks the kingdom of Anasia and kills King Arlan. After killing the king, she rallies the people of Setharu behind her because, of course, they've been under King Arlan for a long time. So she's rallying them, telling them to come with her so that they could be transformed and rule again. So they all kind of get super excited and follow her out of the kingdom and into the cave, and she transforms all of them using the dark shadow magic. Now with her new dark army, she attacks the city again, but comes across resistance in the form of Mal, Grace, and another army, and she uses her dark shadow dragon to attack them and almost manages to defeat them pretty much on her own, even with the assistance of her dark army. But Mia shows up and kind of interferes in the whole situation, and Semasura's dark past manifests itself. Because of the interference from Mia, she ended up being knocked unconscious, and they captured her, chained her, and put her in the darkest, deepest dungeons of Anasia and bound her with all of their strongest magic. However, she still declared that they would not be able to keep her there for very long. As far as I know, she's still there. When it comes to her powers and abilities, she is a mercenary, so she is very well versed in armed and unarmed combat. She is a really good, experienced hand-to-hand combatant. She is an infiltrator and a leader. She is part of the Fey race, which means she has insect-like wings that come from her shoulder blades, which grant her flight. She also has superhuman abilities that manifest in the forms of sight, smell, healing, and agility. What she does hold over her race as a fae is her ability to disappear and reappear in like a puff of smoke, which grants her incredible speed on the battlefield and makes her insanely difficult to catch. In her base form, she also has access to magic in a variety of forms. She was able to fire concussive blasts from her hands, as well as being able to teleport at any time. After going into the cave and bonding with the black magic produced by the Book of Azar, she was able to start and manipulate fire. Later on, she was also able to summon the dark beetles that had consumed her the first time, as well as flying demons. In this world, Grace is incredibly powerful, as we all should know, but we probably don't. But if you've never read Aspen comic books, then Grace is an incredibly powerful fae. And Onyx developed through her dark magic bonding with the Book of Azar the ability to fire concussive blasts that was able to overpower even Grace. Unlike Mr. Walking Red Flag Rainier, who was able to summon a techno-organic dragon, after bonding with the Book of Azar, Onyx was able to summon a dragon of pure darkness that was immune to anyone else's control but hers, and was more powerful than any of the other dragons in the land of basically all of Soulfire. Onyx also had the ability to transform those who were loyal to her into stronger, faster, and more evil and demonic versions of themselves. So the story in particular takes place back in 2003 and on through 2011. So we haven't really seen any more updates from Aspen Comics or anything about Onyx. As I said prior, I'm pretty sure she's still down in the caves and dungeons of Anasia. But this has been Just What the Doctor Ordered.